Hello, hello. Ellen Patrick here with Mindfulness Meditation Monday. Welcome. And today we actually have two special guests. One is over my shoulder. If you can see her, that's Shanti. And, well, he's disappeared now, but we've got Buddy running around too. My pet sitter is not here, pet sitter / husband. Usually he takes the dogs while we're meditating, but today they've promised me they won't bark. So I'm hoping that's the case and they'll be joining us for meditation. I hope you're well and getting all geared up for this holiday season. I know it gets a little hectic, so these meditations can be very helpful for you. And remember that there are, after every meditation, I leave these posted on our group page. I also have a YouTube channel that you can refer to and share with your friends if you'd like. That has all our meditations on it. But in the meantime, why don't you get yourself ready to sit? I've got my candle right next to me, my little candle. I love what it says on it. Limitless, undying love, which shines around me like a million suns. It calls me on and on across the universe. So I'm sure many of you know that is John Lennon from the Beatles. So we've got a couple of minutes. So light your candle, put some crystals nearby, anything that brings you comfort. Now that the weather's getting cold up north, you may want a little shawl or a blanket wrapped around you. Make yourself cozy. Find a good place to sit, whether it's on your couch, a chair, on a cushion on the floor. Yeah, we've got one more minute before we begin. So as we're waiting for the practice to officially start, take a couple of deep breaths, inhaling fully and exhale with a sigh as a way of sort of letting go of the first half of your day. This practice is meant to help you reset your day. So take a few deep breaths and exhaling with a sigh. And we are at 5:30. So we will officially begin our practice. My Koshi chimes. Yes, so today's practice is called Freedom. And before we begin, I'd like to read something for you from Jack Kornfield. He wrote a wonderful book, A Path with Heart. And so he says, when we have not learned to talk about feelings or even to be aware of them, our life remains entangled. In Buddhist psychology, bringing consciousness to feelings is critical for awakening. In a teaching called The Cycle of the Arising Conditions, the Buddha explains how humans become entangled. When pleasant feelings arise and we automatically grasp them, or when unpleasant feelings arise and we try to avoid them, we set up a chain reaction of entanglement and suffering. This perpetuates the body of fear. However, if we learn to be aware of feelings without grasping or aversion, then they can move through us like changing weather, and we can be free to feel them and move on. This is a movement toward freedom. Yes, so basically what Jack Kornfield is saying is that the mind has a tendency to create an energetic charge around what arises in our minds. And that energetic charge, that's hard to say, that energetic charge is attachment and aversion. And when we have desirable thoughts, we attach to them, and undesirable thoughts we have an aversion to. And you would kind of think, yeah, well, that's natural. I do that. But the problem is that when we start attaching or have an aversion to something, we're giving it energy. And we're getting caught up in a storyline or a narrative around these desirable or undesirable thoughts or emotions. And that can cause us suffering in the sense that we're never settled. If we have an attachment, we're always looking for ways to stay grasping. When we have an aversion, we're always looking for ways to run away from. Right? So if we can find a way to be neutral in our thoughts and emotions, that's freedom. That's freedom. And so you can think of your thoughts as weather, the weather, whether it's raining or sunny. You can think of our emotions, which come from thoughts. The emotions tend to then land in the body. Those are the storms. Even if it's a desirable thought, it creates an energetic charge, an energetic storm. And when we come to the breath, we use that breath. That breath is the storm passing. Right? So our thoughts are weather, which give rise to emotions, and we feel that in our body. That's the storm. And the breath is the clearing of the storm. And that's when we experience freedom. And it sort of sounds simple, and it is simple, but not easy. So let's begin our meditation, and we'll work with these desirable and undesirable thoughts and see if we can neutralize them through our breath. Okay. So please close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, begin to settle in. Feel your facial muscles soften. You may want to allow your lips to be slightly open. Feel relaxation dripping down from your jawline into your neck and shoulders. Let those shoulders drop about 4 inches. And then feel your inhale and your exhale manifest in your body. Feel your breath, breathe your body. Notice where you're experiencing the breath, in your chest or your belly, maybe at the tip of your nostrils. And remember, your breath is your anchor. It brings you in the present moment. It relaxes your nervous system. And when we focus on the breath, the storm of our thoughts passes. So if we can focus on the breath in a part of the body, it makes it easier for us to stay focused. And we've been meditating together for many months now. So you may find that as you focus on your breath, your mind is a little bit more centered on the present moment. It's more present than typical. When a thought comes up, notice if it's desirable or undesirable. And just notice your reaction to it. With a desirable thought, you may be tempted to create more story around it, almost nurturing that thought. And so why would we be too attached to that? Why would that be a bad thing? Because we have an energetic charge. and we're too attached. So let that breath go. Let that thought go. And let the breath breathe your body, anchoring you in the present. You may experience another thought that's undesirable. And here too, you may find yourself caught up in the story, suppressing the emotion, avoiding focus on it. But that takes energy. So simply come back to your breath. Noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. That's it. Breathing in, breathing out. And no matter what distracts you, desirable or undesirable, we keep coming back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting the storm of thoughts and distractions move through you. Just like we notice clouds moving across the sun. Allow the breath to wash away the storm. Inhaling, exhaling. And always when a thought wants to distract you, just notice it. Desirable, undesirable, let it go. Let your breath wash away the tension and the storm of emotions, the storm of thoughts. Breathing in, breathing out. And we come to the end of our practice together, but I leave you to continue practicing on your own. Watching the thoughts come and go, anchoring on your breath. I thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful evening.